This is kind of an unprecedented action right now. These new sanctions coordinated between the US, UK, the EU, and actually Canada.
It's very similar to the Clean Network Alliance of Democracies, and that's really what it takes. I really think that's, the magic formula. And, the Clean Network is comprised of like-minded nations, companies, and civil society that operate by a set of trust principles. And clearly, genocide is the biggest violation you could ever imagine of that. A year ago, it looked like Huawei was unbeatable, and it looked like the Chinese Communist Party's master plan for 5G was unstoppable. Well, we stopped it with the Clean Network. Now there's 60 like-minded nations on the Clean Network, represents over 2/3 of the world's global GDP, over 200 telcos, and dozens of clean companies. And, what that showed was China Inc. is beatable. It also exposed their biggest weakness. And Huawei's 5G orders went from 91 that they announced over a year ago down to probably about a dozen right now. And now we want to focus on bringing along some key constituents. And the ones that we talked about in the op-ed, we talked about the biggest asset managers in the world, companies like BlackRock. And, they talk a really good game, but in terms of really doing something about it, they haven't done anything. The other community we talk about is the ESG community, and that's environmental, social, and governance standards. We haven't seen them speaking out either. And then there's forums like the World Economic Forum, which is the preeminent gathering for government leaders and also for corporate leaders to uphold high social standards. They've never said anything about that. And I think that gets back to what Speaker Pelosi talked about is, are we not doing anything because of some commercial interest? That's a polite way of saying conflict of interest. Is there too much money on the table to really do anything about genocide?